So here I'm using an estimating software from Pure Pro. The original app is called Esticom, and this is how we upload our drawings and select all the devices that we have to select so we can get a quantity of each device, what we're using, and the type of system we're going to put in from small, mid to a large. So this is how we would, figure out how much we're going to charge when we send our quotes, proposals to either electrical contractors, general contractors, or even to either government or state and city agencies. So I'm gonna go through this real quick to show you an example of how I would actually put together my pricing. And I'll show you a little bit of what the pricing is, how much I charge per hour, per guy, how much I charge per device, why I charge these rates, things like that. So when it comes to Esticom, the good thing I like about this is if you have it set up correctly, you can put your pricing in there, your labor in there, all your contingencies, you can put everything in there. So that way, when you finish tallying up all of your quotes and everything, when you finish tallying up all of the quantities that you need for whatever trade that you're proposing to bid on, this can actually complete your proposal where you can have your objections and recommendations and your parts and material laid out, your pricing laid out, taxes laid out, a charging tax, and you would just send it straight off to the client, straight from Esticom. But generally, we use this for sending out our quotes. Generally, we use this for price. We put together quantities, how many smoke detectors I'm going to need, how many panels I'm going to need. So I need to know quantities of each one of these particular devices that we need for the fire alarm system. And then from there, I go and attach my prices to each one of the devices, add it up, put the labor cost to it, how long I think it's going to take. Usually they'll let you know how long the project is estimated to take, and that's how you could, multiply your labor rate times the med, times whatever the duration they give you. So when it comes to this, you can upload your drawings, as many drawings as you have. For this particular application, it's more geared to low voltage technicians, but it also has electrical stuff in there. So if you're an electrician, if you're a plumber, your carpenters, this geared to any trade. It has the symbols in there. You can even also add symbols. So when it comes to fire alarm, there's smoke detectors in here. If I want to add devices to a particular plan, there's, data symbols in here. There's all different types of symbols in here that's for trade workers. So this is geared specifically for trade workers. This was definitely a game changer for me because I used to print out my drawings either 11 by 17 because it was cheaper, or if I really needed to see it because I had a lot of details on the drawing, I would have to print it out 24 by 36, and that's usually like $50 per print. So if a drawing is like 5 or 6 pages, like I wasn't trying to spend $300-400 just to print out a few pages at that size. So you take your drawings, you have a whole set of highlighters or crayons, whatever it is, and you tally up your devices. So all my smoke detectors will be, let's say, yellow, and then all the pull stations will be red. So I will color code all of the different types of devices, then go back and then put a quantity next to each one. So it was very, very time consuming. So when I came across this app, it was just so easy. Click, 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 and it automatically tallies up each one of the categories as long as you assign it. This software right here is perfect for anyone in the trade. So don't worry, I'm gonna go through a whole demo of how to upload the drawings, of the whole process of how this works. But I already have a job that I'm working on, and I just want to show you some of the things that I do and how I tally up my devices for each particular category. So watch this. So over here on this left side, when I look at the drawings, so I'll go here. So my drawings always have like a riser diagram. Depending on what your trades are, you usually would have this or not. So here go a riser diagram. This riser diagram look like beastie, right? It's beastie. This means this is a very, very large system. So when I'm building this out, I'm taking a look at the drawings. I'm seeing exactly what they need, what they're looking for. And if I don't understand what the symbol is, like this is SH, this is for heat detector, F is for pull station, IM is for like input module. So if you don't know what these symbols are, then the engineer or in your drawings is always a legend to explain what these symbols are. So I'm looking, this is a very, very large system with a bunch of panels and stuff like that. So as I'm looking at the type of devices, I'm adding them up on this side, meaning I'm adding them here. So if I need a smoke detector, you see I got a color, I have the symbol, size, so I could change the symbol if I want, change the size if I want, or change the color if I want. And then I click create. So this particular job has about 4 or 5 different sites. So another good thing about this is I could group them all together. So this job here is Groove Street. My next job would be whatever the next job name is. It'll be right here. Then I'll have all those devices under this group and so forth and so on. And this is all, user friendly with the mouse. I don't have a mouse pad or a mouse. I'm using a mouse pad on a laptop, but that a mouse is, the wheel and the left right click help you move very, very fast. So when you're looking at the drawings right here, I got some IMs. And like I said, IM is an input module. And if you don't know what these model numbers are, that's okay. An input module is a GSA CT1 for the system we sell. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. And I could also, you see how big those bubbles are. So what I can do is I could decrease the size to the smallest size and just click close. And now I have a nice fill for the devices. Then I'll click on the screen and then drag. Because if you just click, then you're going to be adding more devices. And you don't want to do that because here we have modules. There's no module here. So now we just adding more stuff to this particular category. Our count is going to be off. So we don't want our count to be off. We want to be accurate. So we click the highlight tool or the pointer tool, click on the device or the mistake, and then click delete. From here, you can click and drag over the drawings. And if you use your mouse wheel up and down, this is how you could zoom in and zoom out. So boom, we have some smoke detectors here. And smoke detectors is a KI OSD for optical smoke detector. And we just go click, 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 sit. This right here is a ceiling mounted speaker strobe. This is a voice system, meaning that this has voice evacuation. So if there's an event of an alarm, we have pre-recorded messages that will say whatever it is that they wanted to say over the audio. Usually it's like, attention, it's an emergency, please evacuate the building, something like that. So that's usually the generic audio recording that it would have. So for ceiling mounted speaker strobes, we go ceiling mounted because there's ceiling mounted and then there's wall mounted. These devices have different prices. Ceiling mounted costs a little bit more than a wall mounted speaker strobe. So we want to go ceiling mounted. Plus, you want to also send the right equipment. If the electrician is putting boxes in the ceiling and you send a whole bunch of wall mounted horn strobes, it's not going to look good on you. It's not going to look good on you at all. This right here, see this symbol here and this symbol here? This means from the legend, this is a ceiling mounted speaker strobe. This is a wall mounted speaker strobe. So you see I have just regular speaker strobes. I don't have to call it wall mounted because I know when I start putting the prices together, I know what that's going to be when it's that time to order if we get this job. And this is really what I'm doing on a daily basis, clicking up drawings, putting prices together, and sending out quotes every day. So name of the game is how many quotes can I send out a day? It really feel like practicing, but we get jobs. We definitely get jobs. We wouldn't be here if we did. So we got some relay modules. Then we have another smoke. That's a ceiling mounted strobe. It's a strobe only because it has no symbol in the middle. It's just a circle. See, this one has a circle with an S for speaker strobe. So the symbol itself with no S means that it's just a ceiling mounted strobe, just a flashing light. There will be no audio coming out that particular device. So SH is like a combo device, heat, smoke, heat detector. So now let me show you, I gotta add that. So we go smoke, heat. You could already have these pre-made inside of your list when you browse your category, but I just want to quickly add it. So I'm gonna just add smoke heat. So now it brings it to the default group automatically. So I just drag it up to this group so that way it can stay on Groove Street drawings. So now we smoke heat, you select it again. Got 1, got 2. And then we have wall mounted speaker strobe. This is a voice system, not a regular standard horn strobe system. And the F is for pull station. GSA M278 is for a double action manual pull station. So that is pretty much how you would click up the drawings. Now, if you're an electrician, then you're paying attention. This is for me, fire alarm. So all I'm paying attention is to the fire alarm devices. This J is for junction box. That's for the electrician. They need to know that they have to put a junction box here. So when they run their wires, they have a point to where they could branch off and hit all these other circuits to keep the system neat. Because you could essentially run one wire throughout the whole building, but that's a little cumbersome. So you break it up by hitting transponders or hitting other terminal boxes. So that way you can separate your wiring, separate your floors, separate your areas. It's all easier for troubleshooting, it's cleaner. So if you want to learn more about how we submit bids and how we do our proposals, let me know in the comments, man. I appreciate you.
watching.
So the name of the game is really to send out as many quotes as you can and build relationships with the people you're sending out quotes to. So if you want to learn how to write a proposal, you can watch this next video that we got on the screen here.